MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the A through Z playthrough. In today's video, we have landed on Arthas. He was one of the original characters that launched with the game, and for a long time had many signs that that was the case. I'll get back to that in just a second. His current win rate is 48.07%. His popularity is 8.7%. I'm sure it doesn't take a mathematician to tell you that both of those numbers aren't in the healthiest spot. His last rework was on March 14th, 2017, and that really helped shape Arthas into the character that he is today. But 1 year before that, in 2016, listen to all of these talents that he lost. Regeneration Master, Mercenary Lord, Spell Shield, Relentless, Stone Skin, and Rewind were all removed in the same patch. That's where they took the alpha character of Arthas and really started to fundamentally changing him. All of those are generic talents that used to be in the game. He used to have more than that, but now everything in his kit is Arthas. Does that make sense? There's no crossover from other characters. This is all 100% Lich King. There are two main builds right now. One is a very bruiser focused one where you use your trait with Eternal Hunger, and the other is more tanky crowd control focused where you work on leveling Frost presence throughout the game to really ramp up your crowd control. I'm under the impression that you cannot make this choice before you get into the game because there are some characters that absolutely destroy Arthas when you're trying to go for this auto attack centric build. Although that one is kind of my favorite right now.
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves in the Hanamura Temple today. The friendly team, Arthas, Deckard, Vala, Raynor, and Zagara. The enemy team, Anubarak, Lucio, Variant, Li Ming, and Alarak. What I typically do to decide which ability I'm going to go or which talent build I'm going to go is look at the displacement that the enemy team has in their repertoire. If I don't think I'm going to be able to go in and melee an enemy team, I'm not going to go for the trait build. However, Varian usually just walks in and trades. Anubarak typically goes beetle build, and is probably going to walk in and trade. So I think Eternal Hunger could work here. Use Frostmourne Hungers on enemy heroes is the quest. It's going to increase the mana it restores by 4 up to a maximum of 40, and it's damage done by 4 each time we use the ability. So boom, right there, 4 damage. What's up? 4 whole damage. 5 members of the enemy team down in the bottom lane right now. 2 members of our friendly team up there. Can one come back, please? I don't think we need 2 people in the solo lane, you know what I'm saying? Big root here, potentially. We are going to hit the enemy team's Li Ming, actually, but not who I was aiming for. I was actually trying to hit the Anubarak. Jim Laner decided to come down to the bottom lane here today. The root does go out, and it does hit the enemy team's Lucio. Let's grab this potion really fast. Self-heal with our Q. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Our E ability drains mana the entire time that we're using it. However, it'd be nice if we had some follow-up there, you know what I'm saying? However, if we focus on our trait build, keeping that spell maintained won't be too much of an issue at all. Li Ming, already using her blink, is going to be forced out and actually out of mana as well. So we are in a relatively safe spot at the moment. Deckard Kane going back to refill his mana. We've hit 5 people with our trait so far. Make that 6 people with our trait so far. And once we hit 10, the mana no longer stacks and our quest is going to be completed. And that feels good. But don't get complacent. It's our job to use our trait, hopefully every time it's off cooldown. Great double root there by the friendly team. I can move in with my Frozen Tempest and try to be a little disruptive. But it looks like... Hello? It looks like the enemy team is just going to walk away. If you want to go for the other build for Arthas, I'll show both at the end of the video. The other build is more focused on crowd control, using our W ability, Howling Blast, to root as many people as possible and also make them more susceptible to damage. We're going to pick up Icy Talons. Really, really fun spell. The longer you keep someone in your E ability, the more your attack speed goes up to 60%. It does have a cap. And then that will allow us to combo really, really nicely with another one of our talents at level 7. The objective is going to be up soon, and the friendly team is pinging that they want to go to the Samurai. This is what I love to see. I will absolutely be here to help. Let me take this for you, old man. I got it. I could do it. Our Q ability is Death Coil, pretty unique ability in terms of a lot of the spells in this game. If we self-cast it on ourselves, it's going to heal us. If we cast it on enemies, it's going to damage them. And there's actually a build for Death Coil if you are interested in that particular ability. Chasing down Li Ming here, I'm kind of far forward, but remember, we are slowing everyone around us as well. Death Coil on ourselves for a small bit of healing. Also, root into the Deckard Cain root, and we're going to be able to whack Lucio with that Frostmourne Hungers. Our W ability is Howling Blast. It is a skill shot that roots at the targeted area. So for instance, right here on Zagara, we can send out the root, and it stopped Twin Blades from moving in for at least a moment. Death Coil out onto the enemy team's Varian, hopefully finishing him off. And you can see the movement speed change of Alarak as soon as he hits my area of influence with that Frozen Tempest. He basically stops. That's because of the slow that this ability has. It also has a movement speed an attack speed debuff, as well as a movement speed debuff. So if the enemy team has some pretty scary auto attackers, we can use that to some pretty good effectiveness. We are going to take Rune Tap here. Every 3 auto attacks is going to heal us. And remember, your Frostmourne Hungers resets your auto attack cooldown. I mean, I'm trying. I'm standing here. I'm not leaving. I'm going to stay right fucking here. My life for hire! Get the potion. They are going to get the objective. Get the potion. I can almost self-heal again. So, the attack speed increase that we get from this, coupled with Rune Tap, allows you to live in situations that Arthas cannot live. Period. Like, Arthas doesn't have a ton of sustain normally. This is where it all comes from, as well as your level 10. I know there's some stuff there, but it's just so fucking strong and so fun to play. I highly recommend it. Thanks, man. I have to auto attack to live. I just really believed in us. I think this guy's kind of being a little condescending. I don't know if anyone's picking up on those condescending notes there either, but well, let's just go with it. I'm going to start this other camp really fast as well. And again, as long as I use my trait every time that's off cooldown, we should be able to maintain all of the mana we need here. Looks like the enemy team is pushing it quite hard on our friendlies, but I'm doing this. XP pretty even in this game, although the top defenses for the enemy team has already been cleared. They're moving in pretty hard here on our own defenses. Vala pretty low on mana. She has a turret on her. I'm going to go ahead and drop mine. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too close, and they were able to focus it down fairly quickly. Let's go ahead and gobble up a potion, see if we can focus our attention on Varian here. I'm actually going to root him in place and hope that my Vala auto attacks literally anything instead of just walking around in circles. Oh, now it's coming. There it is. I'm going to need a few more potions to get back up in fighting form, and I am going to go for Summon Syndragosa here. I think with the survivability of Rune Tap, you're not really forced in to summon ghouls, and Syndragosa is just a cool ability from the history of the game standpoint. It is is currently, however I'm supposed to word this, the first ability to enter the game that can disable towers. Sylvanas came after. That Gazlo beam came after. We are going to fire that forward at the enemy team, hopefully slowing them down a little bit. That's going to be a 3-man root on our adversaries as well, but unfortunately, we are going to have to back away from this. Vala's still very, very low on mana as the Samurai's moving in towards us. I'm a little scared. I was hoping we'd be able to move in and be a little aggressive there, but Jim Raynor got a little caught by the looks of things. We're going to take that potion right away as we did get hit. I'm just going to turn on my AoE, try to dodge whatever Alarak's planning for me. Wasn't quite able to. We are seeing the Locust Swarm from the enemy team's Anubarak. He was way too overeager there. Backing up just a smidgen. Lucio taken down by the damage of the building. Root out on Varian should catch him for our gym laner. And I'm going to fall back for a few potions here. So their Samurai did get a lot of value, but we kind of held them off. They're going to be respawning in time for the next objective. I'm going to head back to base with our dude here. So far, we've done 20,000 damage on par with all the damage dealers on our team, actually ahead of several of the damage dealers on our team. The objective is up. So let's head over to it. Remember, the Samurai is the most important thing on the map, and we should be fighting over that a little bit more. We have a 52 damage bonus on our trait, and as we hit level 13 and level 16, that trait is just going to continue to get better. We're opening up with a lot of damage on our Nubarak. I don't know if he was rooted that whole time or just accepted his fate, but he is taken down. Li Ming from the bottom. Remember, Twin Blades Varian fighting into me is going to have his attack speed slowed. So the second he moves in, we just put up our Frozen Tempest and start to believe. He's double rooted with the Deckard Cain root. Let's fire off Syndragosa here. Death Coil onto the enemy team's Lucio and the Bro Shield. Oh my God. Just barely able to keep him alive. The root from Deckard Cain is going to connect. I'm slowing Anubarak here as well. If the team's able to do anything, he's putting way too much faith in that Locust Swarm, and we are going to be victorious in yet another fight. Huh. Oh, sorry. On the way. We are going to head down to the enemy team's base right now as we're picking up Frost Strike. Reduces Frostborn Hunger's cooldown and adds a slow component onto the ability as well. Let's root Varian inside of that big ass cleave of the Samurai. The enemy team's Anubarak trying to dive in here. We are going to try to root him in place. It does connect. Hit him with Frostborn Hungers just to slow him down and deal some extra damage. And now Alarak inside my area of influence as well. The root going out is going to connect. Was it in the cleave again? Samurai doing some good work here. We should fall back and get our own now, in my honest opinion, especially because we have a teammate down. It's going to do some good work on its own. We don't need to do too much there. Zagara already moving in onto the Samurai. We love to see it. We have a 3-level lead right now, but very soon going to be down to a 2. I'll try to tank this for her, turn him around, get him focused on me. We're going to have another cleave moving out soon, but we should be able to dodge it. Beautiful. Friendly team rotating up to us as well as the enemy team is moving in for their turret. I'm just going to cleave the top lane. This should get us to level 16. Actually, there's a lot of XP here. And at level 16, we're going to get a second charge of our Frostborn Hungers. Not quite level 16, just a little tiny bit short. The root is out. I'm just going to stand on his Twin Blades. I don't know if he realizes that I'm messing up his entire plan, but I am messing up his entire plan. Syndragosa does go out, only catching Alarak this time, and he's going to use telekinesis to get away. But some miscommunication for the enemy team as Anubarak re-engages. I just have to auto-attack here, unfortunately. I'm at the whims of my team. They either move back in and I'm victorious, or they don't. And it looks like I was left on my own. In one of the patch notes, I think it was for Arthas's... So at one point, Howling Blast got a range increase. It went from 8 range to 9 range, whatever that means. And I think it's because of the movement speed changes that went to the game. We saw a similar treatment to Alexstrasza with her Abundance, her W ability. she could put that heal down and then run full speed, heal at max range, run full speed, and actually outrun her abundance at one point in the game. So they made it so the range of that ability was increased, so her natural movement speed would kind of catch up to it. And I know we're targeting our W on enemies, but I think it was kind of the same thing, where before the movement speed changes, it was relatively easy to land, and then everybody got a little bit faster. In that same patch, I believe it was that one, they were talking about how Arthas kind of has always ridden the line between tank and bruiser, and I hope this game is a relatively good representation of that, where like I just kind of put up my heal and I go in and I hope for the best, and hopefully my friendly team does what they need to do, but if they don't, you know, shit kind of goes to shit. You know what I'm saying? The enemy team does wipe us out there. Deckard Cain still being chased. Zagara just now respawning, but it looks like this objective is gonna go to the enemy team, which is hey, hello, please wake up. Please, like, we're playing a game here. You queued for it. It's only 13 minutes in. Come on. Stay focused.
Enemy payload firing.
You hate to see it. The enemy is going to get their payload and is going to start to deal damage to the top lane. Zagara on the move again. I was hoping I could do a little something to Anubarak here, but unfortunately that did not happen. The Samurai is up again, so if we can wipe the enemy team here, we can actually do some pretty good work with the Samurai marching all the way up to the all the way up to the core. These guys look like they're falling back, trying to stay out of the Hyperion. However, Vala rolling forward. Let's see if we can catch anybody with this. Sindragosa is out, killing off the enemy team's Lucio. Also slowing down Alarak, who was thinking about deadly charging there. The slow hits! But I don't know if it's going to be enough for our team to catch up. Wow, Anubarak soloed that. Anubarak soloed his Samurai. I didn't know Anubarak could do that. There is another tussle over here at the enemy team's turret. However, we have every advantage, especially with Lee being completely out of mana here. Anubarak on the back line doing some weird shit. I don't even know who he's chasing down, but I imagine it's not going super well. He's completely out of mana, and now his health matches that. Bottom lane's getting pushed. We need to defend that. I guess I'll do it. I don't mind. I'm not going to have the best damage for it. Vala joining in as well. Okay, we should be able to stop this guy before he gets anything done. Looks like Jim Raynor died fighting over one of the recon camps. I'll get this turret down in the back while she kills the Samurai. It's probably best to divide and conquer on this one. Friendly team on our Samurai. They do take it over, no problem. That's going to be pushing the top lane. The enemy team grabbing their turret. If we could push out bottom a little bit, that would be good. Maybe I grab one more wave. One member of the enemy team is dead, and there's 4 in the top lane, so we should be totally fine to just push a little bit. Get this moving a little bit. Zagara joining us down here as well. They're walking towards our buildings, though, so we're going to go back and try to defend. Whether or not we'll be able to, we shall see. I'm actually going to start with Sindragosa. I'm going to make them think we're a lot more prepared for this fight than we actually are. Ooh, big damage on Lucio. Bro Shield coming out early. Big damage on me too, though. Let me just back up behind this wall. Hopefully that got their attention. And Vala and Zagara down in the bottom lane are going to be able to make something work. A huge route into the Deckard Cain route, and we secure the enemy team's turret at the same time as well. Speaking of the enemy team, they are responding to the push in the bottom lane now. Locust Swarm going out around the enemy team's Anubarak as he's chasing down our Zagara. There's the root, or there's the engage. Can we stop him? Yes, we can. Clutch fucking heal from Deckard Cain. Now at level 20. We could go for Death's Advance, which is, I actually think, the newest talent that Arthas has. This was added in the same patch where his W range was increased, and it's really, really good. However, Absolute Zero is just going to make our Sindragosa even better. The root does land, but no damage able to follow up. I also haven't actually used Sindragosa on any buildings yet, so I'm sorry you haven't seen that interaction just yet. It basically just freezes it, and they can't shoot back. If you have a really aggressive team, if you have an Illidan, this basically just allows them to dive the enemy whenever they want. 23 seconds on Syndragosa. Zagara not quite with us. Jim Laner just literally walking by Li Ming. You hate to see it. Varian on his scent too. Let's start calling for his back here. We are going to slow down Varian. And again, that attack speed debuff does make a big difference to him. Zagara back in our base as we're pushing in. Syndragosa coming off cooldown. And I'm going to use it because we know exactly where they're going to be. Hitting every member of the enemy team other than Alarak, and absolutely no damage being done. Good sleep from Deckard Cain. I'm going to fall back for just a brief moment here. Varian is taken down. Zagara rejoining us with the Nidus network. Li Ming at the top of the screen, forced to run away. And this might be a potential core push for our team here. I'm going to try to get in here and deal as much damage to this building as I can, as the objective is dealing damage as well. And the core is open, boys. The root lands. Please, anybody, please deal damage. Oof, oof, oof. Just barely dodging that orb. Let me get in here, grab a potion. That's going to be GG. And that is the A through Z for Arthas done. Did I mention that he used to have physical armor very similar to a Nubarak, having that spell armor that we talked about? Physical armor was the I can't tell if he's big. I'll just take it as a compliment. We'll take it at face value. Where Anubarak had 25 spell armor, Arthas had 25 physical armor. And that armor was removed when everyone else's was, when they were trying to just remove that passive tankiness. However, that was all consolidated into Rhyme at level 1, which is a talent that it basically gives you block. To my knowledge, I think it's the best block in the game. It has 3 charges instead of 2 and actually mitigates quite a lot of damage. But if you were wondering where his passive tankiness went, that is where. We went for Eternal Hunger into Icy Talons, Rune Tap, Summon Syndragosa, Frost Strike, Frostmourne feeds, and Absolute Zero. If we wanted even more sustain, we would have gone for the ghouls and just ate them for extra health. But like I said, I think with our really aggressive attack speed focused setup, Rune Tap can heal us up for quite a lot. So I didn't need to do it. Also, Deckard was pumping out quite a lot of healing too, 77k. If you're wondering how much we healed for, 20,000. We were also the highest damage in the game. Oh, man. Oh, man. I also want to really give a shout out to Death's Advance. It is so fun. Increases our movement speed by 10%. Frozen Tempest maximum movement speed slow and attack speed slow are increased by another 20%. So you could really shut down enemy teams with that, especially if you pick up Remorseless Winter. You're going to be rooting people that are inside of that area of effect if they're in it for 3 seconds, and you're faster than them. So if you could if you could just stand next to them, you're going to get free crowd control and debuffing them like crazy. Super fun combination. Just wanted to give it the love it deserved. If we wanted to go for a more traditional tanky route, we would have gone Frozen Presence, Frozen Waste, Icebound Fortitude, Summon, we would Army of the Dead. Shattered Armor, this is where things really start to take off. Remorseless Winter, and Death's Advance to round things off. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Remember, please hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. We'll be back soon with our A through Z on Ariel, who I'm very rusty on. But we did a bunch of practice games, so hopefully we can get a good match.